Hey, what's up guys? So we are going to be casting this game between Randy Orton, I think it's a W, but it looks like two V's. Here in the blue at 1453 versus Sasuke RDD here in the red at 1475. So some pretty high rated players here. Let's see what they're playing. All day I've pretty been much seeing like Elemental Dragons, and you know, there's also Mermails, and Spellbooks is still a deck. Now this deck is coming out. He didn't open up with the Judgment Day, so you know, I mentioned to see how this plays out. You know, I want to know what the player in the red is playing. So let's go ahead and check that out. So player in the oh, he's just banishing them so we can see them. I thought he was going to just activate all of them. I was like, well, you can only activate one Spellbook of power per turn. But yeah, pretty good effect to be able to special summon a priestess, but then he also has the ability to just go bam, secrets, and then secrets goes right into either Spellbook of the Master, or it will go into Judgment Day, which is like the derp, and it's like game over, you lose. So let's see what he goes for, depending on his hand. Okay, so he's gonna go for Master. Maybe he already has Judgment Day. No, if he had Judgment Day, he would have activated that card first, hands down. Now he's going to reveal one, and you know, you do have to have a spellcaster on the field to use that. I've seen some other players, they activate the Spellbook of the Master without a spellcaster type monster. You have to have one, so keep that in mind as well. That's an important ruling, because if they don't have it, no Judgment Day for them. Oh, so he's just going for Magician? Okay, so he's basically, it looks like he's setting up for perhaps next turn. I mean, Spellbooks can't really throw anything out first turn that's like something that you need to be worried about. I mean, he's got the setup right now. He's definitely geared to win within the next turn. I would say 1 or 2 turns. But definitely our player in the red can take advantage of this. I mean, if he could throw up, if he can, you know, the back row is probably Spellbook of Fate, but there's only 2. I forgot the effect on 2. I know in 3 you can banish all of them, and then you can banish a card in the field. But I think, is it 2? You just bounce 1 back, I think, something like that. But what it comes down to, I think player in the red is looking for some Naturia abuse. Let's open up with the watcher chat. No one's talking in the watcher chat, but let's go ahead and see what the player in the red can do, because he's got to make a play. And you know, this deck is a deck people will be playing. Spellbooks, you know, in what is it? On the 11th of this month is the sneak peek, so be ready for this. Even though they're not legal to play until they actually get released. Oh, Spellbook versus Spellbook. Okay, so personally for me, I find this matchup to be whoever goes first has significant advantage, because what it comes down to is player goes first, he sets up, and then basically next turn he's geared to you know, make a big push. Big push meaning pretty much to destroy multiple back row, be unaffected by spell cards or trap cards if he wants to, using the Spellbook of Wisdom. And then when it comes down to it is he'll basically be able to inflict you know, anywhere from 2,500 to, you know, 7,500 points of damage, depending on his hand. But let's see how he plays out, because I actually want to know how the Spellbook mirror match goes. As far as when a player already has Priestess out, usually it's first turn summon the Prophecy, the Magician of Prophecy, and then you end up adding a whole bunch of cards. So let's see if he goes for the Judgment Day. Oh, there's the Spellbook. Is it Spellbook of Judgment? It's not Judgment Day anymore. Was it ever Judgment Day? Is this the Terminator? But yeah, let's see what he does, because pretty much both of them can get a High Priestess and they don't have to worry about anything, because Spellbook of Wisdom is too good, and also Spellbook of Fate is literally like the card that answers everything. But I don't think a player in the red can make Naturia Beast, even though making that card probably won't do him any good once this card is already out. So he's going to just use this for counters, because it does help, I mean, if you forget. So he's also going for the Spellbook of the Master play. So maybe, I doubt he's going to be able to like make it game though, that's the thing. I've seen some people go for a Draco Sack in the deck. I'm not sure how viable that card is though, because you can just use Spellbook of Fate and just banish it. Although there's still 2 tokens that you'd have, so maybe you want those 2 tokens. So he's going to banish 3 cards, and now he's going to probably banish, my guess would be High Priestess. Let's see if there's a Wisdom act. Oh, that's a bummer. Because generally, you want your High Priestess. That's like the only monster that you really have that's actually strong. Although, if you do play a library build, if you have, you know, enough libraries, you can make everything have like 3,000 extra attack, which is very unfair. This card is unfair too. I feel like it's just Judgment which makes Spellbooks like so derpy. Without that card, I mean, it's still a good deck. The deck has already topped without that, and it's just going to be like so much more icing on the cake. So during his end phase, he gets to add 3, and then special summon a Justice of Prophecy, and he can then tribute it to add a High Priestess plus any Spellbook card, which will probably be like, oh, no, yes! This is awesome. Okay, finally we're seeing some variety in here. I like the idea of Jowgen. Jowgen makes it so neither player can special summon, so he's going to add a Star Hall. Okay, I actually like this play. Pretty good play. And I was talking about Jowgen a long time ago in Spellbooks. I was like, you know, it's not that bad of a card because, you know, getting, what do you need for a tower? I think when it's destroyed, you special summon a monster equal to or less than the amount of Spellbook cards in your graveyard, I believe it was. And Jowgen's just a good card. He says during his draw phase, he's going to activate Spellbook of Judgment. So that's a really nasty thing to do. It's pretty dirty. Because if you guys didn't remember, this card is a quick play. So that makes it kind of unfair. That makes it super unfair. What am I talking about? Being able to just activate it, especially in the mirror match. I mean, this is really where this card can shine. But I mean, if you have Spellbook of Fate face down as well, you can, you know, activate those during your opponent's turn and get more draw cards. So it is spell cards, okay? Because this, if you guys didn't know, this actually is a Spellbook card. So you can Spellbook of Secrets. I believe Spellbook of Secrets into Spellbook of Magician, which is interesting. And then you just summon it and then add more cards. Oh, he's going for the Spellbook of Judgment. So neither player can special summon now, if I believe that is the effect. Yes. No! His Spellbook of Magician is going to die. How is it? I like how it's water. I guess he's all in blue. That's what makes him water. Most of the Spellbooks, to my knowledge, actually, is Justice like Earth or something? Goes in a match against them, right? No. Don't ever side that against them. It wouldn't be too effective, but that's. I guess it's kind of like a I don't know if you want to call it like a threatening roar. It kind of reminds me of like Duel Network, except for way better. But you can only use it against the mirror match. If you're playing like Mermails, do not side this card. Unless you're playing Mermail Spellbooks, which is something that probably doesn't work. So we see a Star Hall activated, and oh, he's going to chain that. Okay. You can activate multiple Star Halls per turn? Because most of the Spellbooks, if you guys didn't know, they all have the effect of you can only activate one per turn. Even check out this one. They all have the effect, except for maybe Star Hall. I haven't seen this card that many times played in multiples, but like in the same turn. Usually they just throw one up. I'm surprised none of these players have went for the tower yet for the extra draw power. Tower's too slow. No, you have to wait during the standby phase. So each time a spell card is activated, you get to place one counter. So player in the red is thinking, because technically our player in the blue did activate this as soon as he activated the first one. He chained the activation of Spellbook of Judgment to it. So Star Hall makes it so they gain 100 attack. Is it all? Oh, only you control. Okay, so it makes it way better. And then when this card with spell counter is destroyed in 7th graveyard, you can add one spellcaster trait monster from your deck to your hand whose level is less than or equal to the number of spell counters that were on this card. Pretty good. So I think our player in the red is actually going for a position to have lots of attack, and perhaps he's just going to beat him down with Jowgen. Because if you guys didn't know, you can actually get so many counters on Star Hall. I've seen 11, 12 counters on Star Hall on 2. I haven't seen many players run 3 and actually get 3 out on the field. But if you can do it, that's definitely not a bad idea. So player, he's just going to pass it off. Okay. Does it count itself too? Like if the other Star Hall? Because that counts for both players. I think he should actually get another counter. He should get one more counter on... Ooh, Heavy Storm comes out, so it doesn't really matter anyways. When the Spellbook of Wisdom is activated, he's going to call spells, and he's going to target, obviously, his card. Oh, he loses a Threatening Roar. Okay. I didn't know Spellbooks were main decking Threatening Roar. I've seen some of them play Trigoda just because you have such a large hand size, but I don't know. I mean, Spellbooks is a deck where you can get OTK'd, though. But, I mean, it's definitely not a bad idea. I've seen also some Spellbook players just play Gorge just because it allows them to make Big Eye. We're going to go for an effect. Oh wait, you get this even if it's destroyed by your card effect? Oh, that's pretty good. I was unaware of that. Because some cards, they're like only when it's destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Like for example, what is it? Nope, can't think of any on the top of my head. But yeah, there's lots of cards where it's like, when this card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect. Okay, Manchuria Cherries is an excellent example. Where it's like you don't get your effect if you torrential. But still, no special summons, and Jagan still has 1300 defense. Oh no, that's a bummer. Poor Jaugen, he's going to get ran over. Because yeah, unfortunately, Spellbook of Power makes him 1500. And then that runs over Jaugen, and now our player in the blue can establish a field if he wants to. So I really do kind of like the mirror match in this. I like to see how it plays out. I actually haven't seen him play mirror match. And he's just going to go for the Special Summon of Priestess. Okay. But this is all in main phase 2, because he's actually already attacked with the Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. So let's see what he makes. If he is going to make anything. I don't know. You're going to try to go Big Eye or something? He is viewing his opponent's graveyard. Oh yeah. He's going to do what now? Oh, because it only lasts till the end phase, and he's just... Oh, going for that Reborn. Reborn Dragon, okay. That's probably going to seal the deal on the game. Unless we see... Man, playing the blue is like, you know what? This is my play right now. I'm all in. Because we're playing the blue, I already used Heavy Storm, so it's like set everything. Only fear other people's Heavy Storm. So maybe if we see like a Heavy, a Dark Hole, maybe like a Fate to Chain to banish whatever is attempted to be protected with the Wisdom, because you can chain to Wisdom. And just be like, it's called Chain Fate. Banish your card anyways. So a player in the red is actually kind of in a bad spot now, because Jaugen is kind of one of those cards where it's like, you know what, if I have it and I got my special summon monsters, good luck doing anything else. Unless you have Dark Hole. Because Dark Hole is still an amazing card. I'm actually curious to see how he plays it out. Let's open up the Watcher chat. See, Prophecy was an interesting deck until they added Judgment. Yes, I agree. Yeah, they actually still topped without the Judgment, which makes it so it's like adding Judgment is like, oh man. And they're still adding more support. There's a Judgment Dragon for them that's coming out. I'm not sure if it's in Tachyon. I think it's perhaps in a few sets down after Tachyon. But I don't think it's in Tachyon. They like just announced it. So unless it's going to be like, oh, it's cool, TCG exclusive, we release it immediately. So he's going to activate the effect of Magician. My guess is he's going to go Magician up. Okay, so he's going to go Magician into Power, because you have to get rid of this, otherwise you lose. He's just going to go for Judgment himself. This is turning into like a stalemate. It's like, okay, I add Judgment? Okay, you add Judgment, okay. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to add cards too. They both get all those tokens, except for his is now an Inzector Hornet. But let's see what he does. So he's going to go Secrets. So even though our player in the blue is going to go plus, I feel like our player in the red, I personally, if I was in that position, I probably would have just went for a Spellbook of Power, killed this. Okay, so he's going to go. I want to just add the power immediately instead of getting him another card. Sure, he gets an extra card also, but the player in the blue like kind of put everything on board. I don't understand why they don't go for the tower. Maybe that there's some reason that I don't know of, but he's going to use Fate. Let's see what he actually hit. He's going to hit Jaugen. So that makes it so he can now Special Summon probably Priestess. Oh, poor Jaugen. He's going to go away to the Shadow Realm. Oh, it's actually his own dragon too, so he's sending his own monster to the Shadow Realm. Great idea. One other thing is, like, you have to get rid of this, though. This card is problematic for a lot of decks just to deal with. And then we see a Spellbook of the Master. And let's see what he searches out for. Oh, he's going to reveal power. And search for? I'm trying to think what he would search for. Like, he probably wants to get out High Priest and start blowing up stuff. Star Hall, okay. To activate Star Hall or no? Okay. The thing with Spellbooks is you usually can't like make a huge field the same turn that you go off. I mean, you get to cycle through a lot of cards, but then your hand becomes amazing, and then essentially next turn is a turn where you get to like do everything. So I'm actually kind of curious where this goes. The thing with Mirror Match is like that attack boost is kind of unnecessary because High Priestess has the effect to pop, and most of the back row in this deck, it's just Fate, so they'll activate it anyway, so there's no point of like trying to hit other back row. But most of the back row, like I said, it wasn't very good, but we did see a Threatening Roar, so I mean, like, I wouldn't try to hit the back row anyways. They're just going to chain Threatening Roar. I would much rather just get rid of their Priestesses. So a player in the red is going to add lots of stuff to his hand, but our player in the blue is going to also be able to add lots of stuff to his hand, but then he's going to be able to make a push, because I don't think our player in the red this turn can OTK. Made a mistake. Take it back. Nope. Yeah, you're playing Spellbooks. You get no take-backsies. If you're playing maybe like Ojamas, yeah, you get take-backsies. But yeah, that is the thing that I like about DevPro. Your opponent can't ever take moves back. That's kind of like cheating. Especially if your opponent activates like a card like Judgment Day, and you're like, no, I changed my mind. I don't want to activate my, what did he activate? Spellbook of Secrets. Now, like, that's something that like is unfair. But like, for example, if anyone normal summon Raikou, and they're like, can I set that? I'd be like, oh yeah, like that's unarguably like a misclick. But if they like synchro for something, and then I bottomless trap hole, and they're like, no, I want to synchro for a Stardust Dragon, and then you're like, no. That's not cool. There's a difference between like misclicking and like totally trying to like cheat. So he's gonna go for Catastor, which is okay. The thing is, Catastor doesn't deal with the whole popping effect. I was gonna say, what level is this token? Is it 6? But yeah, I realized it's not really an actual token. It's just counters for the Spellbook card. I just don't think it's that good of an idea to go that hard in. Who gets the special summon first? In the end phase. You have player turn priority, player in the red. So that means he can decide actually what happens. I wish, are they actually checking out the Watcher's chat? So if you guys didn't know, because it's the player in the red's turn, he has player turn priority. That's different than regular priority. Regular priority just doesn't exist anymore. They just decide, nope, we're not adding that into the game anymore. But yeah, player in the red can actually decide. I wish I could type in the Watcher chat, but I cannot. If I was still an admin like a long time ago, I could totally do that, but it's not worth being an admin. A lot of players are like, no, can I be admin? Can I be admin? Trust me, you actually don't want to be admin because, well, I mean, if you like to do the job, by all means do it. But you get so many PMs, and I already have so many PMs that I honestly can't answer because, like, I'm trying to, you know, show you guys the game. But yeah, it gets absolutely crazy when I was admin. It was like, you know, at one point it actually froze the game because I had so many PMs. Or maybe Flash just couldn't handle it. Because I don't think my CPU was the thing that couldn't handle... Oh! Shoot, he's going for Jowgen. So, yeah, player in the red goes first, and then he wins right now, I would say. He's in a position to win. Even though a player in the blue can add everything, he's not going to be able to push. So that's a good play from a player in the red. Okay, I understand his play now. I didn't know he played multiple Jowgens. Majority of players that I knew that were running Jowgen, it was kind of like a tech card. It was like, you know, just play one Jowgen. But, you know, maybe it's Jowgen is where it's at. Because, especially for Mirror Match, like, I understand it for sure. And he's going to add so many cards. I wonder if one of these players can actually deck out. Because I'm not sure how many Spellbooks our player in the... or, I'm sorry, the Judgment Day our player in the red has actually used. If he has one of them face down and actually activates it, our player in the blue can technically deck him out. I'm pretty sure it's possible. I mean, look at all the cards in his hand. Spellbook and Mirror Match, both players have actually taken 0 damage, and they're going to deck out. That's how you know the deck is too good. Yeah, let's see what a player in the blue is going to do. My guess is it's going to be something involving Spellbook of Fate, and it's going to involve banishing Jowgen, and then he is going to just go off. He's going to go High Priestess, pop this, and then, oh, he's going to try to, please deck him out. Punish him for that. I think it's possible to deck him out. Let's see if he can, because he's got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cards in hand. That's a hefty hand. By all means, please deck him out. I think it looks like it's probably possible. That used to be my favorite way to beat Lightsworn. Back in the day when people were like, oh, yeah, Threatening Roar was a really popular card when Lightsworn was out because you didn't want to get, like, OTK'd. Back when Royal Oppression was legal, that was an awesome card against Lightsworn. But, you could deck out Lightsworn a lot of times. They would, like, overextend, and then sometimes if you only had one back row, if they didn't, like, blow up the field before they summoned their other monster, if they happen to summon more Lightsworns, that's awesome for you. Or sometimes they would go, Lila, pop your back row, you can chain it, and then they would summon a Judgment Dragon just to establish it on the field, so it wouldn't get rolled oppression next turn when you drew into it. They always leave it there, and then you can make them mill like 7 cards. And that's a lot of cards to go through. Especially if they're already gotten Judgment Dragon out, they've already gone through, like, a certain amount of cards. There's at least 4 monsters in the grave. Look at all that back row. All of them Spellbook of Fates. I believe we've already seen at least one Spellbook of Fate out of a player in the blue. I mean, Spellbook of Fate is the card that answers everything that it shouldn't. It's like the, what is it, Blaster, the Fire Elemental Dragon, which, like, those cards should not exist just because their deck is supposed to lose to certain cards, and it makes it so it's okay. It gets rid of them. Why is he going to call spells immediately? If he had Spellbook of Fate, he can activate it and chain it. Oh, why don't you save it and chain it later? Maybe he wants these counters because he's got some plan. I'm pretty sure one of them is a Threatening Roar. I mean, Spellbook of Wisdom. He's going to protect it. Alright. Now you can't mind control him. And not do anything else. But, no, it's not like Spellbooks play mind control anyways. But I don't know, in the mirror match, I mean, stealing this, or just getting them to use a Wisdom before you go and try to get rid of it, like, next turn, it's an option. Plus, stealing someone's High Priestess is always good. And then maybe, like, popping a back row, summoning yours, popping another back row. That's probably a trainable anyways. And then you can make a Big Eye. Because you don't want to put this card in your opponent's graveyard anyways, because Spellbook of Life is a card. And I think most of them usually play 1 to 2. I don't think really any of them play 3 of that card, but let's see what our player in the red could do. I want to see this game end. This is a really long duel for Spellbooks. Usually, after Judgment Day, the game is already over, but in Mirror Match, it's looking kind of like a stalemate. So he's going to add Magician of Prophecy, and hopefully he can deck out. I'm surprised our player in the blue didn't try to force him to deck out. I mean, look, he's only got 10 cards, and he's got 5 cards in hand, 4 cards on field, which are probably all spells that he might not be able to use, though. Divine Judgment, okay. I really want to see the player that... Whoa, I want to see either player deck out. Just because they're both playing some decks are kind of OP. Let's see that Threatening Roar. Where is it? Okay, come on, Battle Phase. Threatening Roar. It's gonna happen. Let's go open up the Watcher chat. I was first person to message plus White Dragon. Oh, yeah. You actually can't activate, one thing I wanted to mention, you actually can't activate Threatening Roar once they declare their attack. So once they hit Battle Phase is where you can actually activate Threatening Roar. I mean, you can activate it after they declare their attack, however, it will not prevent that specific attack from going through. And then we see a Spellbook of Fate activated during the end phase, and what is it going to hit? Jowgen. That's my guess, but I don't know. Oh, he's going for that back row. I mean, Jowgen is in attack position. I thought he was going to just go off and try to just go for game. I mean, you've got lots of cards in your hand. One of them's got to be High Priestess. He doesn't want to special summon High Priestess, I guess. So maybe... Oh, I like how I play in the red. I'm sorry, I played in the blue. Set his tower, yes. And it's like, now it's like, that's cool, you lose your tower. So maybe they weren't going for the tower. Because I believe you'd still get the effect. I believe it still counted as being destroyed. Let's see if it is. I'm not actually positive on that, but I know with Gear 10 you get the effect. and Geartown says when this card is destroyed. So we'll see though. Opponent red says wait. He's going to chain, which you can do. Okay, deck him out, please. He's going to chain on that. Oh, you can actually chain to the activation of that, and you can banish it, and his field spell would stay if he wants to keep his field spell alive. Or you can chain to after it's already, you know, finished activating, and if you want. But yeah, if you had a Spellbook of Fate, you could have technically targeted this, and then, just like an MST, even if the, like, if, for example, Sea of Orichalcos, even though that card says once per turn can't be destroyed by card effects, it hasn't finished, like, resolving, so it doesn't apply its effect. So keep that in mind as well. That's why you can chain things like Dust Tornado to a Royal Decree, and it still works. So there we go. We have a, what did he tribute? I don't recall what exactly was on the field, but he tribute summoned for Priestess. Okay. He's going to activate the effect. Why is this duel so long? I mean, they're both, well, I'd say playing the red is probably going to deck out faster. I mean, even though playing the blue technically can still deck out because everything searches in spellbooks. Still, both players, almost half an hour into the game, 0 damage. And then a Spellbook of Fate is activated, and what's it going to hit? It's going to hit the High Priestess. And a Spellbook of Wisdom is activated. Call traps, call traps. You gotta watch out for that D prison that they don't play. So, I like how he actually says spells. Like, if you're chaining it to it, that should be pretty obvious. Okay. Oh, he didn't even target Priestess? Oh, okay. Jab in defense mode, which is good. Attack. Get Threatening Roar again. No, please don't Threatening Roar anymore. No more Threatening Roar. Why is there a Waboku? Oh, it was banished. I think Threatening Roar and Waboku they're pretty good cards. Just because, like, I guess technically with cards like Swift Scarecrow and Battle Fader, you do have to have those in your hand where you want your hand for all your spellbooks. So I can understand Waboku and Threatening Roar. I think Waboku is better in any mirror matches because if they attack and they want to crash into you, you can just be like, no. Whereas Threatening Roar, you would just make it so they couldn't crash. And I would much rather have them lose their monster and I keep monster alive. Because Waboku prevents your monsters from being destroyed by battle. And also you take no battle damage. So he's going for his Star Hall play. And let's see how many counters he can get on it before he tries to deck out. I'm surprised Jaugen has been on the field for so long. Why haven't you tried to get rid of that card? But, I mean, our player in the blue definitely has hand size advantage. But that doesn't really mean too much in spellbooks if you have the tower out. But I think our player in the blue played it correctly. Because he waited for the player in the red to activate it, then, you know, he activated his and got rid of his. So I think that was probably the correct way to do it. But perhaps our player in the red just didn't have any targets. Because I believe this would still get its effect, right? This card is destroyed by your opponent's card. And sent to the graveyard to special summon one spellcaster. So he could have special summoned like anything. It is an optional effect though, so he actually doesn't have to go for that. So if he was afraid of decking out, technically that would be a good idea. Why does everyone talk about Pokemon? I don't know. Do I remember him? I don't know. Do I remember him? But let's see what he goes for, because this game is lasting way too long, and I want it to end by one of them decking out. So he got rid of the Jaugen by attacking over it, which is fine. Did he activate like Waboku or something? Why didn't he take any damage? Oh, so busy checking out the Watcher chat. In phase 2, he's going to get rid of his High Priestess, and then he's top decking, and then I don't think Spellbooks is not a deck that you can really top deck out of. That misplay killed me, and that's gonna be game. Look at that hand size advantage. So, what is it? 5 cards in hand, 5 spells / trap. Well, let's be honest, it's all spells, and 2 monsters on the field. Even though this thing is like nothing, but Oh, and during the end phase, he would have been able to search another Spellbook card because of Spellbook of Power. There's just too many things that Spellbooks can take advantage of. I was really hoping our player in the blue would have tried to deck the player in the red out. I don't think it's a optional effect. It's just you literally add as many as that were activated this turn. So he would have been forced to add, 10, 15 cards. I would have been cooler to see him deck out. But anyways, that's how the Spellbook mirror match goes, I guess. It's a little bit slower. I was kind of impressed by that. I thought that it would have been still pretty fast, but I haven't casted one of the Spellbook mirror matches. But anyways, thanks for watching. Asian Eyes signing out.